time has
wrong.
expired.
Deeply wrong, sir.
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rabbi, do you believe there are a substantial number of people at Harvard University who believe in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to harass Jews?
I do.
That's a yes.
Yes.
And do you believe those people have acted on their self-anointed right to harass Jews?
Yes.
And has the administration at Harvard University allowed that to happen?
Yes.
Is that true at University of California at Berkeley?
Yes.
How about UCLA?
Yes.
How about NYU?
Yes.
A lot of other universities too. Isn't that the case?
That is correct.
Now, Title VI says that if you receive federal money, you can't harass Jews. Isn't that true?
That is correct.
Has the Biden-Harris administration taken away the money of Harvard?
No.
How about Berkeley?
Nope.
How about UCLA?
No, sir.
How about NYU?
No.
They've just talked, haven't they?
That is correct.
Okay. Do you think this condoned behavior at these universities, this condoned belief at these universities, and let me state it again, they believe in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to harass Jews. That's what they believe. What you do is what you believe. Everything else is just cottage cheese. Do you think that is consistent with their mission as universities?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So above and beyond the question of money, it is the morality, the purpose of higher education in America, is it not?
That is correct.
Ms. Berry, you are the executive director of the Arab American Institute. Is that correct?
Correct, sir.
Okay. And according to your website, you're also, I'm going to quote here, a longtime Democratic Party activist who served as a member of the 2016 Democratic National Convention's Platform Standing Committee, close quote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You support Hamas, do you not?
Senator, oddly enough, I'm going to say thank you for that question because it demonstrates the purpose of our hearing today in a very effective way.
Let's start first with a yes or no.
Hamas is a foreign terrorist organization that I do not support, but you asking the executive director of the Arab American Institute that question very much puts the focus on the issue of hate in our country.
Well, I got your answer, and I appreciate it. What is the, you support Hezbollah too, don't you?
Again, I find this line of questioning extraordinarily disappointing,
Is that a
Senator.
no?
That
Or
you have Arab American constituents that you represent
is
in
that
your great state.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that, but my time's limited, and I apologize, but is that a yes or a no?
Yes or no question to do I support Hezbollah? The answer is I don't support violence, whether it's Hezbollah, Hamas, or any other entity that invokes it.
You can't
So
bring
no,
yourself
sir.
to say no, can you?
No, I can say no. I can say yes.
But
What
you
I can
haven't.
say is
You just
your
can't
line
make
of
yourself
questioning.
do it. Do you
Senator,
support or oppose Iran and their hatred of Jews?
Again, I'm going to emphasize Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, none of them is going to, this discussion.
You can't bring yourself to say no, can
Sir,
you?
I don't support.
It's real simple.
Excuse me, I'm going to,
Ian,
if I may, as a Muslim woman, sir, I'm going to tell you I do not support Iran. But what I will tell you is that this conversation.
I'm running out of time. I'm
Okay.
sorry. You called our decision to cut funding. You called our decision to cut fund. Well, first, what's the United Nations Relief and Works Agency?
It's UNRWA, which is
Yeah.
the institution that exists to provide services and aid to the nearly 6 million Palestinian refugees.
And you called our decision to cut funding for them, quote, an incredible moral failure, close quote.
That is absolutely correct. But again, I would suggest that conversation is about foreign policy.
We did that because 9 UNRWA staff members were fired for actually helping Hamas on October 7th. Isn't that the case?
I don't believe that that's correct in terms
Let
of...
me ask you one more time. You support Hamas, don't you? You
Sir.
support UNRWA and Hamas, don't you?
Sir,
Please.
I think it's exceptionally disappointing that you're looking at an Arab American witness before you and saying you support Hamas.
You know what's disappointing to me?
I do not support
You can't
Hamas.
bring yourself
I do
to
not
say
support Hamas
you don't
or
support UNRWA. You don't support Hamas. You don't.
I was very
support
clear in my support for
Hezbollah,
UNRWA.
and you don't
I
support Iran.
oppose-
You should hide your head in a bag.
Your time has expired. Please, Ms. Berry, I'm going to allow you to respond to any one or all of those questions at this point.
Senator Durbin, thank you very much for holding this hearing and for elevating the issue of hate crime. It's regrettable that as I sit here, have experienced the very issue that we're attempting to deal with today.
A Senate hearing on anti-Semitism became one of the day's most intense exchanges when Senator John Kennedy questioned witnesses about rising hostility toward Jewish students on college campuses and repeatedly pressed for clear answers about Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran. What began as a discussion about campus safety quickly turned into a sharp debate over terrorism, free speech, and public accountability. Here's what happened. Kennedy opened by asking whether Jewish students had experienced harassment and intimidation at several major universities following the October 7th attacks. The witness acknowledged that anti-Semitic incidents had occurred and agreed that universities have a responsibility to protect all students from discrimination. Kennedy then turned to federal law, arguing that schools receiving taxpayer funding must comply with civil rights protections that he questioned whether the federal government had taken sufficient action against universities where anti-Semitic incidents had been reported. The witness responded that investigations and enforcement efforts were ongoing, while Kennedy argued that stronger action was needed to ensure student safety. Kennedy then directed his attention to Maya Berry, executive director of the Arab American Institute, that he asked whether she condemned Hamas. Berry replied that Hamas is a designated foreign terrorist organization and said she does not support it. Kennedy followed by asking about Hezbollah and the Iranian government, pressing for clear yes or no responses. Berry said she opposes violence committed by Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, or any other group, but expressed concern that the line of questioning singled her out because of her background rather than focusing on the broader issue of combating hate. The exchange became increasingly tense as both sides challenged each other's framing of the discussion. If you're enjoying this coverage of congressional hearings, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more of the biggest moments from Capitol Hill.
The introduction of foreign policy is not how we keep Arab Americans or Jewish Americans or Muslim Americans or black people or Asian Americans, anybody safe. This has been regrettably a real disappointment, but very much an indication of the danger to our democratic institutions that we're in now. And I deeply regret that, and I do hope that my testimony today has been helpful to understanding the need to respond to hate.
Over the weekend, I went to a synagogue in my hometown of Springfield. There was a bar mitzvah for a dear friend of mine. I couldn't help but notice the security guards that were posted for this bar mitzvah. In addition, I went to a meeting where a dear friend of mine, a Jewish friend of mine in Chicago, she's been my friend and worked for me for 40 years, was almost in tears over the anti-Semitism that she has witnessed. She was wearing a Star of David around her neck. And she said, I do that because I won't give up. I won't give up. I thought about it for this hearing, but I also thought about Wadia, a 6-year-old boy. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter. I love her like life itself. I cannot imagine this poor little boy answering the door and losing his life because he's Palestinian. My God, we can't say those things that I've just said in the same sentence without some people saying, oh, you've just chosen sides. I'm not choosing sides here except for the side of, I hope, common decency and democracy. We've got to have this conversation. We've got to do it in a civilized manner. I regret some of the things that were said today at this hearing. But we are a free nation, and that's what happens in a democracy. As sad and as disquieting as it may be, that is part of it. The title of today's hearing was inspired by Dr. King's. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see Senator Blackburn. I was just concluding. Senator, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
As the questioning continued, Kennedy argued that leaders should be willing to clearly condemn terrorist organizations without qualification. Berry responded that she has consistently opposed violence and terrorism while also advocating for the civil rights and safety of all communities. The discussion expanded beyond terrorism to include concerns about campus protests, public rhetoric, and protecting both Jewish and Arab American students from hate and discrimination. Although neither side changed positions, the exchange became one of the hearing's defining moments. After Kennedy's questioning concluded, other senators broadened the conversation to address hate crimes affecting multiple communities. The discussion emphasized that anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and all forms of hatred should be condemned and that universities must provide a safe environment for every student. The hearing ultimately reflected the challenges lawmakers face in balancing national security concerns, free expression, and the protection of civil rights. Senator Kennedy argued that public officials and advocacy leaders should give clear, direct answers when asked about terrorist organizations. The witness maintained that she condemns terrorism while also stressing the importance of protecting constitutional rights and avoiding assumptions based on identity. The exchange highlighted the continuing national debate over campus anti-Semitism, terrorism, and how leaders should respond to rising tensions. What do you think? Should witnesses answer these questions with simple yes or no responses, or is additional context important? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Senate hearings, congressional oversight, and the biggest political moments from Capitol Hill.